Late Sunday, U.S. stock futures surged and oil prices tumbled as President Trump announced that a framework agreement to end the conflict with Iran had been completed. Dow futures rose 380 points or 0.74%. The S&P futures gained 72 and a quarter points or 0.97%. And the NASDAQ futures advanced 480 and a quarter points or 1.62%. And that was again in the futures last night. In commodities, WTI crude oil fell 4.6% to 80.97 a barrel. It was actually back down to 80.23 this morning, which interestingly is exactly where it was exactly 1 year ago today. So the entire war premium that had been in the oil market, that's gone now. Will it stay like that? That's one of the things we're going to be watching here today. Brent crude also declined 3.92%, and natural gas futures slipped 1.92% to 3.06. Meanwhile, the U.S. dollar index, which tracks the greenback against a basket of currencies, stood at 99.568. That was down 0.24%. Asian markets traded sharply higher, with South Korea's Kospi surging 5.5% and Japan's Nikkei 225 jumping 4.8%. Trump said on Truth Social that, quote, the deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete, end quote. The president also indicated that the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil shipping routes, would reopen after being effectively shut down for months during the conflict. Quote, ships of the world, start your engines, let the oil flow, end quote. His statement came shortly after Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif said a breakthrough had been reached following mediation efforts. The memorandum of understanding is expected to be formally signed in Switzerland on Friday. In a statement, Iran's Supreme National Security Council said all military operations, including those in Lebanon, would permanently cease beginning Monday night. Iran's semi-official Tasm news agency reported that. While officials described agreements as a framework for ending hostilities, several major issues remain unresolved. Iran's Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Jabardini said that broader negotiations would take place during a proposed 60-day ceasefire period, including discussions on sanction relief and Iran's nuclear program. That was reported by Reuters. According to statements from both sides, future talks are expected to address the fate of Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium and the long-term structure of its nuclear activities. The agreement also calls for the cessation of military operations across multiple fronts, including Lebanon, though Israel had not immediately commented on the announcement. In fact, earlier in the day, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israeli forces had carried out strikes in Beirut, targeting Hezbollah positions. So, like I said, moving parts here. So far, so good. We're going to play it by ear. We follow the news. We follow the markets. We follow all of the happenings. We're going to be nimble. We're going to use that as our advantage.